Local 4 News begins right now with a breaking news alert.
We are following two big breaking stories tonight. First, Southfield police putting out an alert about this child seen with an unidentified man this morning.
But we're going to start things off with live pictures from New York City. A number of casualties reported after a truck driver plowed into people on a crowded bike path on this Halloween, happening just blocks away from the 9/11 memorial.
Steve Garagiola is following that story for us and joins us from the newsroom with the very latest. Steve.
Yeah, this is all just unfolding now. One person has been arrested. Up to 6 people are now dead. An unknown number of people are injured, and police and the FBI now treating this as a terrorist attack. Here's what we know. This happened in Lower Manhattan this afternoon, just after 3 p.m. The man drove a Home Depot rental truck. He drove the wrong way as many as 20 blocks on a bike path that runs along the West Side Highway. He struck a number of people on that bike path, and again, police say at least 6 people have been killed. The man crashed the truck. Police say he jumped out of the truck and began firing 2 fake guns, what it appears may have been BB guns. He was shot in the leg by police, and he has been taken into custody. Of course, we will continue to follow any new developments from New York. We will bring you the new information as soon as we get it. Again, this is unfolding now, but at least 6 people confirmed dead in this, what is now being called a terrorist attack in New York City. Back to you.
All right, Stephen, updates on that story coming through over this next 90 minutes of news. Now, let's get to breaking news out of Southfield. Police there trying to locate a child who could be in danger.
She was last seen leaving the Burlington Coat Factory on Southfield Road near 12 Mile this morning. Jason Colthorpe is there live tonight with more details on what happened here, Jason.
Yeah, Karen, let me tell you exactly what happened. It was about 11 o'clock this morning when police say the man was coming out of this Burlington with the little girl, and as they were walking to the parking lot, getting to the vehicle, a witness saw her struggling with the guy as he was putting her in the car, even hitting him, and she said she heard the little girl yell, "Stranger danger," and the man eventually say, "Just get in the car. I'll tell you how I know your father once you're in the car." All right, let's get to the descriptions of what police want people to be on the lookout for. This little girl is black, about 4 to 6 years old, wearing bright pink, a hoodie, and light-colored leggings. She may also have a purple knit hat and gloves with a Disney princess on it, and she has braided hair, possibly with white beads. Now, the man is black also, 40 to 60 years old, about 6 foot tall, medium build, medium complexion. He's balding, was wearing a black oversized jacket, a light-colored hoodie, and baggy black pants. The car that police want you to be on the lookout for is a silver 4-door sedan, North or South Carolina plates. Possibly a partial on that would be DK within that license plate. It was last seen driving south on Southfield Road away from Burlington. Now, here's the thing. Southfield police telling us they have not gotten a report for a missing girl yet, a missing child. So this could potentially be a hoax, but certainly nobody taking any chances, as terrifying as that whole thing sounds. So police asking if you've seen either of those two or that car, call police immediately. In Southfield tonight, Jason Colthorpe, Local 4.
Here for updates on that story as well. All right, Jason, let's get to the weather now, one of the more important forecasts of the year. As we look at live pictures from Grosse Pointe, as the yard there is ready for the trick-or-treaters to show up, but it is going to be a little on the chilly side tonight. Going to have to bundle up, which can ruin some of the better costumes,
really can.
right?
You know, you work so hard to make sure that perfect costume, and then you put on a fleece over it. Ben is out on the weather patio to see what we can expect over the next couple of hours. Ben?
You know, I think Dr. McGeorge told me if you just chew more chocolate, it actually makes you feel warmer. Does that sound medical advice? Maybe I misunderstood him. But no, it is going to be chilly out here for pretty much the rest of the evening. The good thing we've got going for us, though, is we are dry right now. A lot of clouds around, kind of a spooky looking Detroit skyline, but temperatures make it feel even colder as you look at those numbers, which are in the 40s, even the upper 30s in some spots. But the wind chills have been consistently close to freezing for much of the afternoon and are likely going to be around that area because as the winds diminish tonight, the temperatures are going to continue to drop. So that's going to keep wind chills primarily around 32 for most of us. But we will be seeing those air temperatures in the 30s after sunset, and we will discuss more about what's to come in your 7-day forecast in just a few minutes, guys.
All right, Ben. Angels Night 2017 for the city of Detroit has proven to be another success.
Yes, firefighters responded to a record low number of fires during the 3-day period. A special curfew remains in effect tonight from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. Teenagers and children 17 and younger should be off the street by 9, or they risk being ticketed and taken into police custody. Residents can do their part by keeping porch lights on for trick-or-treaters and reporting any suspicious activity.
And now we need to get to a good health alert. The Michigan Department of Health and Human Services has increased the statewide response to the ongoing hepatitis A outbreak.
They have activated the Community Health Emergency Coordination Center and also sent out alerts to healthcare workers. Dr. Frank McGeorge is here with an update on what this all means for us.
Yeah, this is actually really important, Karen and Devin. Since August 1st, 2016, there have been 457 confirmed cases of hepatitis A, with over 85% of affected people requiring hospitalization and leading to 18 deaths. Now, the most severely affected region is centered right here in southeast Michigan. So far, no single source has been identified, and it's assumed that the virus is therefore being spread from person to person. Health officials hope that by increasing the level of awareness and alert, they will have a better chance of getting ahead of this outbreak, because it has just continued since last year, and it is spread in other cities as well. Separate incidents, but this is something we just need to get a handle on.
The rates you just mentioned, this is just something you just don't want to mess with. Don't
exactly.
get any part of it.
Main thing, if you can get vaccinated, get vaccinated.
It's not too late.
Right.
All right. Thank you, Doc. 52-year-old Westland resident is in critical condition at this hour after being hit by a sedan. It happened on Merriman Road near Hines Drive just before 7 o'clock this morning. That's when the sedan hit the pedestrian, sending him to a local hospital and temporarily closing southbound Merriman Road at Ann Arbor Trail. Merriman has since been reopened. Now the investigation is going on to find out exactly what happened there. However, drugs and alcohol are not believed to be involved.
Today, the White House and Capitol Hill reacting to the major development in the Russia investigation. The president's team saying the former campaign advisor who pleaded guilty to lying under oath had just a tiny role in the campaign. Blaine Alexander has more from the White House with that story. Blaine?
Well, Devin, despite this development, the White House is still working to push ahead with its priorities. And the president's personal attorney says he is spending all of his time on presidential work.
From what I recall,
today, Team Trump working to put distance between the president and one-time advisor George Papadopoulos, who tried to boost the Trump campaign with help from Russia.
Papadopoulos is an example of actually somebody doing the wrong thing while the president's campaign did the right thing.
He was not a person who was involved with the day-to-day operations of the campaign.
Papadopoulos pleaded guilty to charges of lying to the FBI about his talks with a Kremlin-connected Russian who claimed to have dirt on Hillary Clinton from now infamous stolen emails weeks before they became public. The president silent when asked.
Mr. President, what's your reaction to George Papadopoulos' guilty plea?
Instead, letting his tweets do the talking, saying of Papadopoulos, few people knew the young, low-level volunteer who has already proven to be a liar. News of the guilty plea competing with indictments against former campaign manager Paul Manafort and Deputy Rick Gates. The indictments not mentioning the Trump campaign, but a major development sending shockwaves from the White House to Capitol Hill.
And I have yet to see any definitive evidence of collusion.
These things are a centipede. There's always another shoe that drops.
Meanwhile, reps from Facebook, Twitter, and Google all on Capitol Hill grilled about fake news articles generated by Russian hackers hoping to influence the 2016 election.
And all of this is threatening to overshadow what the White House really wants to focus on: tax reform, a plan set for release tomorrow, and the president's most high-stakes foreign trip yet. He leaves for Asia this Friday. At the White House, Blaine Alexander, Local 4.
All right, Blaine. Big smiles at the DSO. The Detroit Symphony Orchestra has received a donation of $15 million from the Davidson Foundation. Of that donation, $5 million comes in the form of a challenge grant. 3 other foundations have already pledged a total of $3.5 million, which is more than half of what's needed, bringing the grand total up to $18.5 million. The orchestra's endowment currently at $46.3 million, but would jump to $56 million if the challenge grant is matched. What a lovely overture made to the DSO. Yes, a Detroit family is pleading for answers tonight in the death of their loved one.
New at 5.
You took something from our family that we would never get back. somebody knows something.
New at 5, desperate pleas as the murderer of a beloved flower shop owner remains on the loose.
And forget the falling leaves. Some Michigan kids are trick-or-treating in 5 inches of snow tonight. 5 inches where this came down and whether we'll see any around here. Hank?
This bike stolen in broad daylight, and it was a Detroit man's only mode of transportation. Help Me Hank tonight, helping him get back on the road.
All right, Hank, and if you are just joining us, we continue to gather new information on the breaking news we're watching in Lower Manhattan. An attack on a busy bike path in New York, now being investigated as a possible terrorist incident. 6 people, that's the word that we've received at last word. 6 people killed when a driver plowed a rented Home Depot van into a crowd just blocks from the World Trade Center site. Police say the driver got out of the vehicle screaming and had 2 fake guns, maybe BB guns. He was shot, but is right now in custody. We're expecting a live update from the NYPD. In fact, live pictures from that podium, and we'll get to that right after this break.
Tonight, new at 6.
House of Horrors, why this Madison Heights home is the scariest on the block. Coco?
Take a look at this video. It shows a man stealing a donation box from a nonprofit organization in Monroe County. You'll hear from the executive director of that organization.
All right, Coco. A Detroit man with medical needs reaching out to Help Me Hank after his custom bike was stolen. His bike was his only mode of transportation, and he worried that without it, he would be missing, for example, many doctor's appointments.
Well, the thieves made their move in on one of the city's newest and busiest neighborhoods. Let's go live to our consumer investigator, Hank Winchester. And Hank, a generous business owner, was very quick to help.
Yep, Karen, the business right here, the Hub, a bike shop in the heart of Midtown Detroit. We talk about the popularity of this Midtown neighborhood. Well, it's a big biking area, too. You can see the brand new bike lanes here. Unfortunately, though, that means thieves have also moved into the area trying to swipe people's bikes. This bike was everything for Brian Craddock.
It gets me to my medical appointments, which I actually have a lot of them.
Brian has a lot of physical challenges, and his bike with extra shock absorbers helped cushion his ride. But a few weeks ago in this park, not far from LCA Arena, his bike was stolen.
I heard the kickstand drop, and the guy was about 40 feet away and took the bike.
Brian now walks about 5 miles to get to the doctor. He has no other way to get around town. Is that bike your main mode of transportation?
Yes, it is, because medical transportation isn't reliable.
This area near Little Caesars is now heavily patrolled by police, but the park a few blocks away where the bike was stolen is still in a transitional phase. But now with help from security programs like the one sponsored by DTE and Quicken, expect the security zone to expand. We've shown you how the DTE program to catch bike thieves in the act has helped catch many bad guys.
Over the past 2 years, a dramatic reduction in property crime.
With the security boundaries now expanding, crimes like the one affecting Brian could be prevented. Right now, though, he's in need of help.
That's why it was easy for me to respond to you the way you did, because that's what the Hub is here to do, where most shops don't have the ability to help the way we do. And when you describe the bike, we get them a lot.
Jeff Getton with the Hub Bike Store in Midtown stepped up to help, breathing new life into this used bike, adding shock absorbers and tuning it to work just for Brian.
All these bikes didn't come in good condition. We made them good condition.
That's great, man. Thank you.
The bike was just what Brian needed.
Hank.
Feeling good about it, man?
Man, I love it. And I love you, man. Thank you. I love Channel 4, man. I love it.
You can get on your way.
Man, yeah, and I got an appointment today at 2 o'clock. Now I don't have to leave 2 hours prior. This works perfect.
Back out here live in Midtown, you can see security cameras there, those added recently, and more popping up in this neighborhood, especially as we get closer to the arena. The goal is to install possibly between 200 and 500 more cameras before the end of the year. We're live here in Midtown. Hank Winchester, back to you.
Pretty happy to see him on his way there, Hank, but I'm wondering if there's been any more information on his bike that was stolen.
Yeah, Devin, the bike was registered. It was registered through Wayne State PD. They are looking for the bike. It's pretty unique in color, bright red. Unfortunately, no tips as of right now, but you know, Wayne State Police dealing with bike thefts, at least one a day, but they do encourage you to register your bike so they can try to track it.
Let's hope so. All right, Hank.
Take a look at this. How's this for too soon? 5 inches of snow up north near Traverse City. This is video taken today from Mansalona. Police say they responded to multiple spinouts and crashes. You can be sure the trick-or-treaters up there, they've got to be bundling up.
Spinouts and crashes, and they're the experts on driving on the
Right,
snow.
so
but
when they're doing
make you feel better?
Everybody has to kind of, get into the season and get up to speed, right?
You get your mulligan on the first one. Then you got to be on your best behavior. It is Halloween, really, everywhere, and happy Halloween to you. Because it's so chilly outside, Frank decided to move inside with Mummy. He got sick of being out in the graveyard where it was so cold, so he's decided he's going to hang out by the fire, which is probably what a lot of folks are going to be doing tonight. Temperatures right now have a wedge of 30s here to the north and west of us. You can see Ann Arbor, Pontiac, Howell, all in the upper 30s. Generally, though, elsewhere we're looking at a majority lower 40s. It feels like it's freezing out there with those wind chills hanging around 32 in a good chunk of the area. Port Huron, the one exception, with a lighter breeze up there right now. Now, as far as the precipitation goes, this is the one thing that's been working in our favor. We are dry and should stay that way. You can see over the last 6 hours, we did have more of a west-southwest wind off the lake that was bringing in a couple of those flurries, but now that wind has shifted and is blowing more out of the southwest, so that's taking all the precipitation up to our north, and you can see even more of those pockets of snow showers up there around Traverse and northern lower Michigan. So we're going to be on the dry side of things through the rest of tomorrow, and then once we get into very early, this is technically, I guess, Friday night, Thursday morning, 2 a.m., we'll start seeing rain in here, but it's coming with warmer air, so this is all going to be liquid. Then we'll see a warm front move in here. It's going to bring some milder temperatures, but another shot of rain. This is going to be Thursday night, probably even later than what this model is showing. A lot of indications are that may show up on Friday morning. So not good news for the commute, and it looks like we could get wet this weekend too. So let's look at lows tonight. We've got very dry air out there, so even with the cloud cover, it looks like we are going to be dropping to the 20s in some spots. 33 for that low in Detroit, 32 officially at the airport. Get into the south zone, especially Lenawee County. That's where we start seeing the 20s. 27 in Onstead, 28 in the morning in Tecumseh. And by the way, these are air temperatures. This is not accounting for the wind. Thank goodness that's going to go light. 29 in Brighton, 29 in Howell. Will be right close to freezing there in Novi and Canton. North of M59, we're looking at 30s here. Generally anywhere between 31 in Sandusky and 34 out towards the lake. High temperatures tomorrow. A little bit better than what we did today, but not by much. 47. If we see any breaks in the clouds and a little bit of sunshine, it's probably going to be midday. And again, we'll stay dry Wednesday. It's Wednesday night into Thursday that we'll start seeing that rain. And you can see the mild air that's coming with it. 62 degrees for that high temperature on Thursday. And we'll be in the 60s a couple more times towards the back end of that forecast. But even though the week is not going to be a complete washout, we will have rain around on both Saturday and Sunday. So keep that in mind, especially with Michigan, Michigan State, both at home.
Exactly right. Yeah. All right. Well, just bundle up. What can you say about the night? Yeah.
Thank you, Ben. Well, saying you are scared to death has become a common saying, but can it really happen? Dr. McGeorge is in to talk about the good and bad side effects of being scared.
But first, what this bakery worker admitted to doing could have killed someone. The one thing he says he did at work when no one was looking. Next.
And we are bringing you a breaking news alert. New York Police Department now speaking on what had happened earlier this afternoon when a truck had rammed through.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Let's take a listen.
Steve, we good? Yes. All right. Just keep in mind, this incident occurred a little more than 2 hours ago, so all the information that we're giving you right now is preliminary and subject to change. After I speak, you're going to hear from Governor Cuomo and Mayor de Blasio. Bill Sweeney, from the Assistant Director in charge of the New York FBI office, is standing up here with me, too. We have members of my executive staff. We have Cy Vance and members of the state police. First, I just want to say that today there was a loss of innocent life in Lower Manhattan. The dead and injured were just going about their days, heading home from work or from school, or enjoying the afternoon sun on bicycles. This is a tragedy of the greatest magnitude for many people, for many families here in New York City and beyond today. I want to commend the response of our NYPD officer that was on post near the location who stopped the carnage moments after it began. Also, the work of the first responders, including the fire department and EMS personnel, surely helped save additional lives. As I said, I'll give more of a chronology in a couple minutes, but right now I'd like to introduce Mayor de Blasio.
Thank you, Commissioner. It's a very painful day in our city. Horrible tragedy on the west side. Let me be clear that based on the information we have at this moment, this was an act of terror, and a particularly cowardly act of terror aimed at innocent civilians, aimed at people going about their lives who had no idea of what was about to hit them. We, at this moment, based on the information we have, we know of 8 innocent people who have lost their lives and over a dozen more injured. We know that this action was intended to break our spirit. But we also know New Yorkers are strong, New Yorkers are resilient, and our spirit will never be moved by an act of violence, an act meant to intimidate us. We have been tested before as a city very near the site of today's tragedy, and New Yorkers do not give in the face of these kinds of actions. We'll respond as we always do. We will be undeterred. And I want to thank everyone at the NYPD, all our first responders, for their extraordinary efforts in the midst of this tragedy, starting with the officer who stopped this tragedy from continuing, all of the first responders who came to the aid of those who were injured. Investigation is underway to get all the facts, and what we'll tell you today, of course, will be preliminary. But we know we will get down to the bottom of what happened. I want to ask all New Yorkers, all Americans, to keep the families of those lost in your thoughts and prayers. They will need our support. And I want to ask all New Yorkers to be vigilant. We know it's Halloween night, and we know in the days ahead people will be uneasy. We ask all New Yorkers to live by the idea, if you see something, say something, tell an officer immediately if you see anything unusual, anything that worries you. Be vigilant, and know that there will be extensive additional employments of NYPD officers this evening and throughout the days ahead. We will also keep you posted as this investigation continues and as the NYPD gains more information. Governor Cuomo.
Thank you. First, our thoughts and prayers are with those New Yorkers who we lost today. It reminds us all how precious life is. They left the house this morning. They were enjoying the beautiful west side of Manhattan on a beautiful fall day, and they're not going to be returning home. And that shock and that pain is going to be very real. And our thoughts and our prayers are with all of them. Our first responders did an extraordinary job. The NYPD, the FDNY, the FBI, the New York State Police, EMS. We have the finest security on the globe. And to see them in action today proved that once again. The new terrorist tactic, which they've called for publicly, are these lone wolves who commit an act of terror. This is all very preliminary. It's only been a couple of hours, but at this point there's no evidence to suggest a wider plot or a wider scheme. But the actions of one individual who meant to cause pain and harm and probably death and the resulting terror. And that was the purpose. We will be vigilant. More police everywhere. You'll see them in the airport. You'll see them in the tunnels. It's not because there's any evidence of any ongoing threat or any additional threat. It is just out of vigilance and out of caution. And the truth is, New York is an international symbol of freedom and democracy. That's what we are, and we are proud of it. That also makes us a target for those people who oppose those concepts. And we've lived with this before. We felt the pain before. We feel the pain today. But we go forward together, and we go forward stronger than ever. We're not going to let them win. And if we change our lives, we contort ourselves to them, then they win and we lose. We'll go about our business. Again, there's no ongoing threat. There's no evidence of that at this time. So there's no reason to have any undue anxiety. You will see more security forces, but that's only because it's an abundance of caution and not a signal of anything else. And there'll be continued investigation and justice will be done. But again, to those we lost, they're in our thoughts and our prayers. To the first responders, thank you, thank you, thank you for the job you do. You put your life on the line every day, and you do it better than anyone else. And to New Yorkers, be New Yorkers and live your life, and don't let them change us or deter us in any manner, shape, or form. Thank you.
Thanks, Governor Cuomo. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. But as I said, I'm going to go through the chronology here, and I know when I'm done, you're going to have a lot of questions, but we're not going to go too deep into it. It's only 2 hours. And after I get done with the chronology, Dan Nigro is going to talk about the injuries. All right, so at 3:05 p.m., a male driving a rented Home Depot pickup truck entered the West Side Highway bicycle path at Houston Street, began driving southbound, striking a number of pedestrians and bicyclists along the route. At Chambers Street, the truck collided with a school bus, injuring 2 adults and 2 children. After the collision, the driver of the truck, a 29-year-old male, exited the vehicle brandishing 2 handguns. A uniformed police officer assigned to the 1st Precinct confronted the subject and shot him in the abdomen. The subject was wounded and transported to a local hospital. A paintball gun and a pellet gun were recovered at the scene. The subject's identity is not being released at this time, pending further investigation. At this point, there are 8 fatalities reported in connection with this incident. In addition, several people have been injured, and Commissioner Nigro from our fire department will discuss that. Dan?
New York Police Commissioner James O'Neill, along with the Mayor of New York, Bill de Blasio, and the Governor of New York, Andrew Cuomo, playing out a scene that has become way too common in American life. Law enforcement and civic leaders trying to explain the details of a stupid and senseless loss of life in a public place. And this time it was in Lower Manhattan. 8 people dead, and as he just described, the 29-year-old suspect is in custody after being shot.
People going along with their day, just hitting that bicycle path. Pedestrians hit, a school bus was involved, as you said. 8 people dead, numerous injuries. We will be following this story over the next 60 minutes. Of course, have more on clickondetroit.com, and the NBC crew with Lester Holt will have more on Nightly News. We will be right back.
At Goodman.
His family won't rest until there's justice. A desperate plea tonight as the killer of a beloved flower shop owner is still on the streets. Deontay Box was walking outside of his Detroit home to fetch a wheelchair for a friend inside battling cancer. That's when someone walked up and shot him multiple times.
Today, Deontay's family came together with a hope of bringing that killer to justice. Coco McAvoy spoke with them about why there are so many questions that remain in this case.
Deontay Box was shot and killed in his own driveway last month. Friends and family members were left to wonder why. And today, they came forward hoping for answers.
To take his life like this hurt me to my heart.
Toysha Box can't hold back her tears as she talks about the death of her son, Deontay Box.
I loved him with all my heart. He was there for everybody.
He was shot and killed in his driveway on Ohio Street last month.
He was a big piece of glue that held our family and our friends together.
Family says Box was outside getting a wheelchair out of his car to assist his terminally ill friend. That friend passed away shortly after Box died.
And I think he just gave up after all this transpired.
The last month has been trying for family and friends who loved Box dearly.
I can't sleep at night. I can't even focus. It's like my world is just turned all upside down.
Now they're pleading for information so they can begin to heal from the devastating loss of Deontay Box.
You took something from our family that we would never get back. Somebody knows something. Please speak up. We need closure. We have to have peace. We have no peace. And Deontay deserved justice.
Out here live now, there is a $2,500 reward for information. So anyone who knows anything is asked to call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-SPEAK-UP. And the family wanted to remind people this is completely anonymous. You're not giving your name. You're not speaking to police. All you're doing is helping a family get answers through 1-800-SPEAK-UP. Reporting live this afternoon, I'm Coco McAvoy, Local 4.
All right, Coco. In the past few weeks, we've been watching Wall Street react to the domestic three. GM shares were up and then down based on analysts linking and then rethinking the company's outlook. Today, William Clay Ford Jr. went to the Detroit Economic Club to talk about where his company stands. Our business editor, Rob Maloney, live with that story tonight. Rob?
Well, Devin, take a look. Here's the GM chart. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago. You see the nice steady climb, and then we've seen it kind of go down because of what they have said over the past couple of days on Wall Street. Let's take a look at Ford over the last 6 months. Went way down. New CEO comes in, and boom, all of a sudden we see a nice little rebound there. William Clay Ford Jr. believes that this can keep going up, and that's what he was talking about today.
We just had a great third quarter, and you've seen our stock start to rebound, and that's been great. So a lot of it, too, is, with a CEO change, I think there was a wait and see.
William Clay Ford Jr. changed CEOs, went with Jim Hackett because Wall Street kept bidding Ford's stock downward, wanting to see a brighter and better company vision, particularly with autonomous and electric vehicles. A $1.7 billion third quarter profit on top of $36 billion in revenue certainly helped things, but Ford says the company is about to make a big change under Hackett when it comes to sharing its intentions.
There's a very delicate balance between what you want to telegraph publicly, and I think in the past maybe we said too much. This is a very competitive world we're in, and you want to give Wall Street enough information, but you also don't want to telegraph exactly where you're going.
Bill Ford was first to start talking mobility years ago and says the company's moving full steam ahead in a ride sharing and other shuttle services, and will even test vastly different vehicles and programs right here on the streets of Detroit as one way to help fight joblessness.
So now a lot of the work is actually either in a different part of the city or frankly outside the city, and there's often not a very good way for residents to be able to access that. So, we're working on some pilots to try and to change that equation to get people to where the jobs are.
So what has Ford done about that? Well, they bought a company called Chariot. It had a couple of bumps in the road getting started out in California, but they're back on the road. He believes Chariot can make a huge difference even here in the city of Detroit, and he wants to get that started before too long here. Reporting live, Rod Maloney, Local 4.
Good stuff. All right, Rod, fascinating. Just about time for all the ghouls and goblins to hit the streets and get all the candy they can handle.
Oh, it's going to be fun.
And more.
Yeah, we already know it's going to be pretty chilly out there, but that is not going to stop anybody. Tim Pamplin live at a prime spot over in Grosse Pointe tonight. Tim, things are just getting started.
That's right. I'm on McKinley Street in Grosse Pointe Farms. You see the kids starting making their way down here towards this house. This guy looks forward to seeing these kids every year. We'll talk to him in a second, but the kids have been dressing up. We put a call out on Facebook, on social media earlier, and boy, did we get a response. So we put the call out on Facebook earlier, show us your best Halloween costumes, and boy did you deliver. Take a look at some of these. This is one of my favorites. Look at that smile. Patrice Love sent this picture in, a smiley police officer. Viewer Anne-Marie Michi sent this one of the little puppy about to go through the garbage. Shannon Lee said her daughter came up with this idea, a living Halloween decoration. Very smart. Remember, 3 little piggies, courtesy of Jamie Carlin. Oink, oink. This by far is my favorite so far. Jeannie Lukes says these are her grand tots. Look at those outfits. And look, they've even got walking frames. How authentic. Wasn't just the kids. Shout out to Tiffany Amber from The Office. Good job, everyone. Now come back out to me here in Grosse Pointe. Here we are, some youngsters have just arrived here at McKinley Street. Oh, he's got something on the barbecue. What's for dinner?
We've got brain, we've got leg, and we've got skull.
Oh, that is awful. So McKinley Street, these youngsters are just showing up here. Happy Halloween, everybody. McKinley Street, Grosse Pointe Farms. Come on out if you dare.
He's holding. Oh, it looks a little gruesome.
Yeah. The grill is a rough touch, man. Wow. All right,
I hope no little 3- and 4-year-olds. That might be a little frightening for
May
them.
not get to sleep later on. Yeah.
Thank you, Tim. Well, it was a move that caught police completely off guard.
New here at 5:30, we'll show you how a wanted man ended up going for a wild ride behind the wheel of a police car. Frank?
Well, is it possible to actually be scared to death? Ahead in Good Health, the good and bad side effects of getting those Halloween screams.
There are vinyl. New at 6.
What happened on this soccer field several years ago changed an entire family's life.
It shocks the conscience.
But what has happened since then has separated that family. How could this be? We'll fill you in.
The Northville boys cross country team was hoping to run away with states next weekend, but now they won't be running at all.
None of us are called up for awards. Our names aren't even on the finishing results. So it was just devastating.
What happened and what the MHSAA is saying about it.
All right, Jamie. In Good Health tonight, haunted houses actually post warnings that you should not enter if you suffer from any variety of medical conditions.
And sometimes when you read it, you wonder, is that just hype or is it really possible for fear to bring on a serious medical problem? So we brought in Dr. McGeorge with the medical answer.
Yes. Should you be looking at that grill in Grosse Pointe that we saw a little while ago?
Not if you have certain medical problems.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, it's interesting. A lot of people use the phrase that they were scared to death. And while it's not impossible, literally being scared to death is extremely unlikely. But you might be surprised to find out that fear, stress, or anxiety actually can lead to other serious problems.
Strong emotions, either brought on by fright or grief, can trigger our body's fight or flight response, which for some can cause an unhealthy surge of adrenaline.
If a person is at risk for a heart attack or stroke, some sort of stimulus that's truly frightening could actually trigger such an event.
While an actual heart attack or stroke is very uncommon, there has been an increasing amount of research into a condition known by different names, like broken heart syndrome, stress cardiomyopathy, and Takotsubo cardiomyopathy, in which otherwise healthy people who suffer a severe fright, the loss of a loved one, or other traumatic experience suddenly develop signs of a heart attack and even heart failure. This syndrome is more common in older women, and it most often spontaneously resolves in a couple of days. But the take-home message is,
the average person need not be scared of being frightened to death. That's really uncommon. However, the person who's got heart failure, serious heart disease, has had heart attacks and strokes, should try to avoid these sorts of situations. Maybe don't go to a haunted house on Halloween.
Now, as far as haunted house warnings go, aside from the small potential of stress-related damage to your heart, the flashing lights can legitimately induce a seizure in people who are at risk, and there are certainly trip and fall risks if you aren't in reasonable physical condition.
It's interesting. So the same adrenaline that can be dangerous is also why we like it, though, right? Why that rush, why people want to be scared.
Exactly. Life, risk and benefit. That's it.
Kind of past those. I get too scared a little bit. You like them?
I'm not. I've never been into. I like roller coasters and that kind of scare, but not really.
Idea.
Do you do anything that's fun?
I do.
Oh, okay.
I enjoy it.
Don't do this. Don't do that.